name is Gibi Kalle, the founder of GK Sport Foundation, GK Sport Agency, and I believe in the youths. I believe in empowering the youths because as one of the people that was underprivileged and I managed to have a great playing career, I started GK Sport Agency to try to make sure that I give chances to all sorts of young youth that don't have the opportunities to get education, and we have decided to do a lot of work that identifies players, nurtures players, promotes players, markets players, and still obtain and get them opportunities to have a chance to go to school so that their talents can be nurtured and they can become better citizens in a country. Yeah, my experience in South Africa was great. Obviously, it was tough. The road was very tough. Having to go without food, and having to go past borders, and the difficulties of just crossing in strange places. I had never been out of my country, but I was lucky that obviously when Mr. Jomosono saw me at his office, he saw my hunger in the face, and he knew that I was one of those hungry, passionate African young players that wanted to exploit my career. He gave me an opportunity, and I didn't disappoint. I remember that was the time when Benjani Morawari arrived, young players like Tico Tico. We knew that Jomo would give chances to young players, and I knew that that was the place for me. I had training, I had a good training, and in a couple of days he already saw my potential and he signed me. And yeah, this is where my professional life starts. And I signed a contract, and obviously it was tough because I was the best player at my former club, Police, and we had problems in securing the release, and consequently the work permits became problems and issues. But I had a great time at Cosmos. He's a great manager. He's a winner, and so I had a really, really good time in South Africa. My favorite African top 5 players that have influenced my work, my career: Jomo Sono, George Weah, Mohamed Kalon, Samuel Eto'o, and Majid Musisi. Obviously, Mohamed Kalon, one of the best strikers ever, not only in Africa but I believe in the world. He played for Inter Milan. I worked with him when he was in Dubai at the time, and I made contacts to bring him to one of the greatest clubs in Southeast Asia. Plus, I was very influential when he went to China as well. So, yeah, Zesh Rehman, obviously, he's also one of the experienced players I worked with. He played for Fulham, and later I brought him to Asia, to Montong, Pahang. He won over 8 trophies the last 7, 8 years. Damien Stewart, Jamaican, very influential. Uh, Brought him to Asia with a lot of experience. I knew his capacity. He went on to change and win trophies for Pahang. Ryan Johnson, a fantastic player with education history, being one of the best players at student level in America, and one of the people that still works with Geek Sport to try to help young players as his passion. Uka Ugo, another player, Italian, youth football. He played at Parma. I got him when he was in Greece, and I guided him. I advised him. I got him to Selangor, where he did so well, reached the cup final, and he's still doing so well at all the clubs that I've brought him. young players that I've identified, guided, nurtured. One of them, Brazilian striker, Clayton Silva. Identified him at 22, guided him, signed him in Thailand. He went on to score so many goals. Gave him an opportunity to go and have a trial at Lorient with the help of Christian Gourcuff, French coach. Clayton has become a Thai legend, scoring 100 goals and more, and one of the first one, and perhaps the last one. Kepa Sherman, Liberian, fantastic player, the best player in Malaysia this year, scoring 21 goals. Lazarus Kayimbi was right back. I converted him, turned him striker. He scored over 60 goals. In Thailand, he was at the point when he got a bad injury, and he was almost giving up football at Jomo Cosmos, my former boss. And I had a conversation, and we gave this lad another chance. Gordon Rimario, I brought him from all the way from Jamaica to Africa, nurtured him at Proline, and this year, his first professional year as a professional player, scoring 15 goals and helping his club to the cup finals of the FA Cup. Those are some of the players, young players. Gibby at GK Sport, Gibby as a player, Gibby as an agent. My experience in South Africa was wonderful, and thanks to Mr. Jomo Sono, who gave me the opportunity, and I learned a lot of things. I managed to get in contact with a lot of people that inspired me with their management style, like Pitso Mosimani. We often had conversations, and I realized that I had to do something, because obviously I didn't want young players in Africa that were in my situation, that were financially unable to achieve their dreams. I wanted to start this foundation to make sure that I promote players that could find themselves in my situation, and identify them, manage them, nurture them, and give them opportunity. Good news to GK Sport Agency and Foundation, where we plan to get scholarships for the distinguished sportsmen in Africa and all over the world. We have signed a partnership with Namirembe Hillside, one of the best schools in Uganda. They have a record of making the best lawyers, the best doctors all over Africa, and we have managed to sign a deal with them to cater for the underprivileged students that have careers and talents in all disciplines like football, hockey, basketball. We shall be able to negotiate and admit them in this school, and they will utilize the facilities that we are going to set up here at the campus, and the constructions that we are planning, a stadium, we are planning hostels where the players will be staying. And we shall do a lot of work to make sure that we promote talents from all areas of the country, national and international. We are looking forward to GK Sport, with its objectives of trying to expand its operations and making sure that we are in line with making sure that the young children achieve their dreams, not only in their careers but also in their education careers, so that they can consequently become better citizens and consequently be able to get jobs. Some will become professionals. We have partnered with Namirembe Hillside, one of the best schools in Uganda. It has the best teachers. The directors of the schools have a record, and everybody in Uganda knows that they've produced the best lawyers, the best doctors, and right now we want to establish it as one of the best sports schools, not only in Africa, but perhaps in the world. We have a program that is going to be one of the first one, not only in Africa, but I believe in the world, that is going to emphasize excellence in education, and as well as we're going to start a syllabus on sport, football as a profession, and football as a sport, and all our players and all the sportsmen that are going to come here. Obviously, we shall not only concentrate on football, we shall have more disciplines like basketball. We shall attract all calibers of students from all over Africa, and we shall admit them on scholarship so that they can better the community, so that they can better the country, so that they can inspire so many athletes on our school and in our country. Now right here we are going to do a construction of a stadium, a multi-complex that is going to accommodate so many facilities from here until the other side, where we shall have dormitories, we shall have a hotel, we shall have 4 wings that we shall, in recognition of the African players that have really contributed to the continent. Like, we shall have a wing for Mohamed Kalon, we shall have a wing for John Mosono, we shall have a wing for Majido Musisi, and a wing for Samuel Eto'o. And obviously the stadium is going to be the George Weah Stadium in recognition of what he has achieved. The only African player who was recognized and was given the award of the world best player in 1995, and he has inspired so many African young talents.